Hello everybody, I'm SnipingIsFun, and I wanted to do something a little bit different today for this video, like a different setting to do my video. Although you've seen me do videos here in my living room before, but different way. Instead of just me sitting in my room on my bed, putting the camera on and talking, I wanted to talk like this. And this is not going to be a gaming related video. This is actually going to be a wrestling one this time. I haven't done one of those in a while, and I felt like doing this. And I wanted to do something like this for a little while, and I haven't done it yet, so here we go. This is going to be my thoughts on what I think should happen when The Rock and Cena face John Cena and The Rock face each other at WrestleMania 28, and overall what I think should lead up to it, and just in general what WrestleMania 28 should really be about. If for you guys that have known, The Rock returned at WrestleMania 27. He returned before to be the guest host of the show. He cost Cena the title against The Miz, and they set a match up for WrestleMania 28. How I think it should go. This video is about how I think it should go. Currently, Cena has the title, and he wants to go into WrestleMania to be able to defend the WWE Championship against, The Rock. I think he just wants to be able to show The Rock that he could defend the title against him or something like that. And what I think should happen, Money in the Bank, CM Punk's going to be facing Cena for the title, and as much as I really hate it, I think Cena's going to win. I really would like to see CM Punk with the title again, but since he can leave with the belt, but I don't think they're going to let that happen because he's leaving that same night, supposedly. What I think is going to happen is at SummerSlam, someone's going to face Cena for the title. The Rock's going to return and cost Cena the belt again, and he's going to go on like a rant saying, "You know what, Cena? I hate how you're trying to bring the WWE Championship into this match. I don't want to go for the title at WrestleMania because I don't want to win another title. Because there's no way you're going to be able to defeat me. No offense to you, Cena, but I'm The Rock. I have all the talent here. I'm the most electrifying superstar in the WWE and all that. Something like that." And he's going to go on and say that there's no way Cena could beat him, and putting the title on against him would be useless when maybe the match could be somewhere else, and they shouldn't be worrying about the title anyways. And basically he's going to say Cena's worrying so much about the title, he's worrying so much about putting the title on the line against The Rock, that he's not worrying about getting ready to actually face The Rock, because then The Rock's going to go on and say, "Cena, you're not on my league, you're not on my level. I was from a generation that set the wrestling world on fire. I was from the Attitude Era, the early Ruthless Aggression era, before even it turned Attitude Era even. All this time, the wrestlers from my generation were so, we set the wrestling world, on fire and everything. Pretty much. And, I want you to be at least on the same level with me. I want an even playing field kind of match. I want you to be on my league. I want you to be at my level. I don't want, worrying about this title is going to make you weak. Worrying about this title is going to, make you look like you're worrying so much about it, you're not going to be ready for me at WrestleMania 28. And he cost him the title because he said, "I want a one-on-one match at WrestleMania. No titles, no nothing, just one-on-one." And then basically this leads Cena into actually trying to train for the match, getting ready for it. But then how I would have it happen is then a ton of wrestlers from the time when The Rock wrestled, before the Attitude Era, and the early Ruthless Aggression era, like X-Pac, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Booker T and all that, show up to talk to Cena, saying he really needs to get his head in the game kind of thing, get ready for this match and stop start worrying about, because if he really wants to beat The Rock, he really needs to get ready for this match, because they could go into, how I would do it is they would go into a storyline where Cena might be good in today's thing, even though a lot of people wouldn't say that, and he is overrated and everything. I'm not saying I hate him. I hate his character. His character is boring and all that, but I used to be a fan before his long one-year world title run and all that stuff. He just got boring then, and he really needs some kind of character change eventually. I'm just saying, they're going to say he's not ready. He's a top guy now, but he's not. Him and a lot of today's talent, the wrestlers today in the WWE, really don't fit in with the wrestlers from back then. They are not in the same league, kind of thing. Like these old guys come in and start talking to the younger guys, and how I would have it happen is they all come in and say Cena has no chance of beating The Rock and all that stuff, and all these older guys come in and talk to these younger guys, and then it comes to the point at WrestleMania 28 where I think it's going to be young versus old. I think it should be a young versus old pay-per-view. Like, the young guys are trying to fight off against these old guys, trying to tell them that they actually are on the same league, that they actually are on the same level, that they can actually push the company and, you know, be the future and everything, that they can do that. But then these old guys are trying to come in, kind of show that they're still relevant, that they still got it, as well as showing these younger guys that not only are they better, but these new guys can never reach their level, kind of thing. And then all these young guys have to work together, and this could be a good way of having faces and heels actually work together. You can have Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler work with Randy Orton and John Cena, working alongside, you know, Santino, working alongside Vladimir Kozlov, Wade Barrett, Justin Gabriel, Alberto Del Rio, you know, all these younger guys working together to try to take on these older guys, which could be faces and heels. There could be X-Pac, Triple H, Booker T, Christian can be on the older side. Edge can come back as like a manager. Stone Cold Steve Austin can be there as like a manager. You know, like Booker T, like I said. Shawn Michaels, Kane, and all these old people. Like, there is a clash of like young versus old. How I would do it at WrestleMania, and then it gets to the point where like at WrestleMania, I would have like a 8-man tag or a 10-man tag match between young and old kind of thing, and then I'd have like a Divas match. I'd say the current Divas champion at the time would take on one of the older women's wrestlers like Trish or Lita or Molly Holly or Sable or, you know, Jazz or anyway. I'd probably say Lita makes the most sense. Lita, Trish, or Molly Holly, or that's my opinion, though. Or if Jacqueline gets out of the TNA, maybe Jacqueline would make some sense as well. Although I think what she's doing in the TNA is probably good for now, and I don't think she'll be gone by then, so it won't be her. How I would have it, and have, like, say the current, like, it's just the whole idea how I would have WrestleMania, is the younger guys are trying to fight for the WWE and try to say that they can hang with the old-time talent, old-time wrestlers that they had there, and try to prove themselves, pretty much. That they could hang with these guys, and that they could be the future, that they really could, and all these older guys are just trying to kind of prove that they're not, pretty much. And it's like a good way of putting faces and heels to team up with each other, because they're trying to fight for a similar cause. The younger guys are trying to fight to show that they're worth something to these older guys, and the older guys are all working together to try to show these younger guys that really they don't have nothing compared to them, kind of thing, and that they're still relevant, and that they really should step up their game, kind of thing, the younger guys. And then, how I would have it happen is, it won't be for the women's title, the Divas title, but I'd say whoever the Divas champion goes in and gets like squashed by Lita or something, they have like because you know how WWE treats their matches anyways. I would have the like Lita or someone come in and just squash whoever the Divas champion is, and have, like, let's say, the Attitude Team, the old team, actually beat the new guys, but have it look like the new guys have a chance, though. The match comes pretty equal. They win, and then it all comes down to Cena. He's the only person left on, like, in the current day WWE that has a chance to at least show that the newer guys have a chance. And everyone backstage, all the younger guys are getting angry and they're trying to put all this pressure on Cena, saying, "You better win this match. We're being made to look like fools here tonight. You better do something to beat The Rock." And then all these old guys come in and basically all rub it in his face or so, like, are talking and say, like, all this pressure's on him and he shouldn't blow it or anything. And then the Cena and The Rock match happens at WrestleMania. Cena puts all he can do, does his old same 5 moves and all this stuff to try to beat The Rock. It fails. The Rock keeps coming back, but he can barely make it out. And how I think this all should come down is that this is what's going to turn Cena heel. This is what should turn Cena heel. He can't beat The Rock fair and square. He can't do it his Superman ways. So during the match, which will probably be like a no DQ match, or maybe he'll accidentally knock the ref out, he'll take like a chair, start beating up The Rock. He'll do all this stuff to beat up The Rock. He puts him in the SDF, chokes him out, beats up The Rock, just takes him out, turns heel, beats The Rock, because that's the only way I think that they can legitimately make him look good being The Rock. Because if they do, they keep Cena face and have him win the match, because I know for a fact they're probably going to have him make him win the match anyways, which is kind of stupid anyways, but if he wins it the way I think he should win it, it would actually turn out pretty good. If he wins it Superman-ish, the match means nothing. I mean, yeah, it's a passing of the torch, but still, it's like, he doesn't need the torch passed to him. He already beat Triple H. He beat Shawn Michaels. He beat like all these older guys already. He doesn't need to beat The Rock. At least in the sense of being a face, pretty much. I think the best way to do it is have him turn heel and beat The Rock. And then it goes off on this rant saying the fans were against him. He did what he could win. His ways of winning in the past is like hustle, loyalty, respect. His face ways mean nothing to him because sometimes that stuff won't work. He'll turn his back on the fans, the kids, the women, and all that stuff. Turn heel, being The Rock, and say that he actually is the future of the company. So it will be a passing the torch in a sense, but it will be a passing the torch to a heel Cena and not a face. I think Cena, which I think works a lot better. And Cena's the only new guy that wins at WrestleMania, turning himself heel while all the other guys lose. And then I think that would be a good way of doing it. And maybe they'll have a rematch in the future, like another guaranteed heel Cena versus The Rock probably at SummerSlam or something. I don't know. That's just my general thoughts. That's how I think WrestleMania should go. It should definitely be like young versus old. All these older guys come in and say how Cena can't beat The Rock and how all these younger guys have nothing on them. All these younger guys team up to try to fight them, to try to make them seem relevant, that they actually can stand against these guys and that these guys can be the future. And basically in a way of turning Cena heel. If they could do that, WrestleMania will be good. If they go the Superman route, it's gonna WrestleMania will probably suck. And if they don't, because I think if they do this whole young versus old thing, it might actually make WrestleMania look good. If they don't do any of that young versus old thing, just put Cena versus The Rock, don't build it up at all, like how we know WWE does, because they don't build up like hardly anything that much anymore. I'm not saying they don't, because they still do a little bit, but compared to back then, like in the Ruthless Aggression era and all that stuff, all these old times, the older times, they're nothing compared to now. I mean, not saying they don't have good wrestlers or good storylines or good matches or anything anymore, because they do, but I don't know, it's just not there as much as I think as it used to be. And I think this would, but if they just do that and just have Cena go in there, be a face, win Superman-ish, beat The Rock, WrestleMania 28 would be pretty bad and would probably suck as much as 27 did. Because 27 was okay, it had a few good matches like CM Punk versus Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes versus Rey Mysterio and all that stuff. But most of the matches were pretty and you know, it was just, I didn't watch it, but I mean, I think I've seen highlights of it, and I've seen parts of it, and based on what other people said, yeah, I would have to agree. I just want to have it, actually, I want to see this at WrestleMania, because I think this could actually really be good for WWE to do something like this. Turn Cena heel and bring back these older guys to actually, you know, maybe it will make these new guys relevant, because a lot of them probably don't seem relevant, and how WWE treats their younger guys is they don't really push a lot of people that much, or at least they don't push them legitimately and all that stuff, you know. And this is just my opinion. I'd like to see what you guys think. Put in the comment section below if you agree with me or disagree with me. Give me your thoughts. What do you want to see? Subscribe if you want to. I'll see you guys later. Peace. Please subscribe, and have a good day.